I'm delighted to be joined by former WBC champion and possibly the heaviest puncher who's ever walked the face of the earth, Deontay Wilder. You've had so many fantastic knockouts from Artur Spilker to Luis Ortiz to Dominic Brazil, but potentially my favourite is the one against the ESPN mascot. So can you tell me about how that happened that day?
I was at an event and they wanted me to hit this mascot and I was like, "Are you sure?" It was like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "I don't know how thick a mascot, uniform is, but it looked pretty thick, especially when you rub it and touch it. I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna be all right." You would think in advance. I was thinking in advance because I've touched other mascots before, but never hit one. So they said in the halftime era, you're gonna do this show. You're gonna, come and you just do your little move and then you hit the mascot. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking it's cool. It's gonna be easy, which is was, but when I did it, I did like the Ali shuffle, coming, everybody cheering. I did like the Ali, well, being announced, coming out, being announced, doing the Ali shuffle. Here go the mascot jumping in front of me and stuff like we in the ring and stuff. And all of a sudden, I had a great grip on the right hand to come and do a good twist with my torso to come with my right hand and twist it right time I landed. And here come this mascot going sliding across the room. And when the mascot gets up, they pulled the mask off, and it's this girl. Yeah, woo! That was crazy. That was a crazy day. She enjoyed it, but I would never thought it was who it would have been up in there. It was like a surprise, somebody coming out of a birthday cake or something. But it was a good day. Everybody enjoyed themselves. No one got hurt, and yeah, it was a fun time. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a very brave mascot in there because I don't think I'd want I don't think I want to get punched by him no matter what I was wearing. But it
Oh,
was
man.
truly amazing, and you've had so many great knockouts. So I was wondering, of all the people you've knocked out, of all the knockouts you had, what is your favorite?
My favorite one always, shit, is so many. Yeah, my favorite one I think is always goes back to the Dominic Brazil knockout because of the intensity that was led, the storyline that led up with it, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I was really being lied on about a lot of things, and people try to take my character inside of boxing, and in press conferences try to, judge me off of who I am truly. And you have to get to know a person. We're gonna promote, we're gonna motivate, we're gonna inspire, we're gonna say things we have to say. And I speak from the heart all the time. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm one of the realest in the business. I'm always speaking from what my heart is saying. I ain't got time. Yeah, we got to put on the show and all. You got to act. And a lot of motherfuckers be lying about a lot of stuff, but that's just not my taste. You know what I mean? I don't carry myself that way. And things get heated, and things did get heated with me and him, and I took it very personal, and that was one of the things. So when I go back and I think about things, and even if I close my eyes, he always be the one that pops up. It used to be the Arthur Spuka one. Shouting out to Barclays Center. I've always got a dramatic knockout at the Barclays Center. It used to be Spooker, but Dominic Brazil is the ones that always linger to me.
Yeah, that was an amazing knockout. I remember how explosive that was, and it was even more impressive considering it took AJ 7 rounds, and then you went and did it in the first. It was truly amazing. And we've talked about a couple of your memories there. What do you think is the craziest story you've had so far in your entire boxing career?
My craziest story,
Craziest story or memory, just anything that stands out to you.
one that I can't explain, one that I can't give to you right now.
Fair enough, Deontay.
Craziness. Boxing is a business. We got to understand that this is not a sport. It's a business where a fighter dies every year. They say over 13 a year. So I got a lot of stories, but my craze is, the world ain't even ready for yet.
Fair enough, Deontay. Fair enough. I mean, you are undeniably one of the greatest American heavyweights and one of the best heavyweights ever, considering your amazing record and what you've put together. Who would you put as the top four heavyweights of all time, your Mount Rushmore?
Man, we always get these questions right here. We put people at the top and stuff, and it's always dealing with the the older fight. You know, I'm always be a big fan of Muhammad Ali, no matter what. You know what I mean? A lot of other people, but you gotta, you know, it's so many fighters, and I just don't want to name old school fighters because we got a lot of great school too in the mixture. And for me, I don't even be like to ask the question of who is my top. This is that. You know, I just love all of them. You know what I mean? We all risk. I just look at boxing so different than everybody else, and then putting status and putting some type of title on a person. These men is risking their lives. I don't know what I don't think people really like drill in their heads and they look at this because they look at boxing because of the terminology that have been stated that it's a sport. It's not. It's a business. And you have to respect every man that has went in there and put their life on the line, especially the ones that have been hit over and over at times and time again. Because it's a dangerous business. Over 13 fighter dies, and probably more now that's only being reported. They starting to report things now instead of brushing it under the rug. But with all due respect, I respect them all. I have, that's my spirit. I can sit here and name a lot of fighters and stuff like that, but my heart today is to say I respect every fighter that steps in the ring. I salute you because I understand out of a lot of people, as been a veteran in the business, what it takes to get in there and what you're risking with 7 children on my hand every time. When I go battle, I talk to my children, let them know the severeness of this. I don't think any other sportsmen in other sports have to talk to their kids and tell them, "Hey, Daddy, finna go play basketball. I'm about to go run this football. I'm about to go hit this baseball. I'm about to go kick this soccer ball or play cricket or whatever." Understand me? They ain't having these meetings and discussions and putting life trusts out and stuff like that because you just don't know when you're dealing with this business right here. But only the strong survive, and you have to love it to do it. And so obviously I love it to get my ass in there each and every time to provide my greatness and to provide my life for others' entertainment. So to be excused, I just like to salute all of them. Everybody that step and put their risk their lives on the line and step in the ring, I salute.
100%. I really respect and love that answer because there's been so many fantastic fighters over the years who've made so many fantastic legacies, and you're continuing your legacy against Tyrell Herndon. Can you tell me a little bit about this fight? And you expect to land another explosive knockout here?
Most definitely, I'm wrong guy, wrong time, wrong place, And I love that he have the confidence and yes, I think about 6 years ago or something, we met each other at one point in time, and his dream was always to fight me, and look what it is now. He getting the opportunity to come, and as well as me getting the opportunity as well because I'm building myself, and I think I'm back where I need to be, if not stronger than I've ever been in my life because of the burdens that had to been cut from me. I'm so much more freer now instead of having a load hold me down. I couldn't rise, I couldn't elevate to the next level because of the certain people that I thought loved me was around me. You always hear with a lot of successful stories of loved ones and people that are close to you taking from you, doing fucked up shit that you would never expect. We all have to go through it. We all handle it differently. And here I am, and it's time to brush myself off because I've been down too long. So much more happier. I have so much more joy in my life and I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just ready to get back out here and do what I've loved to do and what I've known that I could do and give the fans something to see. We're risking our lives for other entertainment. I'm gonna make it a grand one each and every time. So I'm looking forward to this fight, June the 27th in Wichita, Kansas. I've never been to Kansas, but I'm looking forward to making my grand entrance and my debut there. We're gonna have a motherfucking amazing time while it lasts for sure.
100%. It's great to see you in this mental place because they say a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. So you
Yeah.
might look as explosive as ever before. A couple of fighters I want to look at for the future that I think would be great for you. Obviously, there's Jarrell Miller, who you've got this rivalry with, and Francis Ngannou, obviously, possibly the two biggest punchers in world history setting foot in the ring together.
Mm. Well, with Jarrell, I don't like him at all. You know what I mean? I don't like him. I ain't gonna say too many things, but You know, this dude, he's always been a hater of me ever since I've started, coming up and building a name in the rankings. He's always had a hard on for me, but I don't swing that way. I don't know if he got the momentum. I don't know if he got the memo. And it's always been something about me that he always wanted. He's just always been a jealous guy of me for some reason. I have no idea. And because throughout my whole career, he always taunted me. I always tried to drag on my coattail, and I always try to do things or whatever, say shit, stupid shit. Like that shit get old. You know what I mean? You chasing a man all your life, and you still in the same position. You know, you chasing me while I'm chasing success. I'm chasing dreams. I'm chasing legacy. I'm chasing iconic moments. I'm chasing goals, and I have successfully succeeded in a lot of them. Can he say the same? Can he say the same? I've invested in so much. My kids are set for life, and I have 7 of them are set for life, whether I'm alive or dead. Can he say the same with his one child or how many he may have? These people do all these different things, but their life is in shambles. Their life is in fucking just a fucking mess. But then they wanna come and put that all on somebody. Someone they want to come and drag that on someone else's life. That's good. I tell people I'm unbothered about a lot of things that people do, about a lot of things that people say. I don't care because it don't apply to me. What can hurt me is the things that apply to me, and a lot of things that have been said about me or against me don't apply to me. I don't give a fuck about what nobody talk about because they haven't done what I've done. You go knock out the minutes people I've knocked them out. You go see the people that I've seen, the places I've seen. Go get you a state-funded statue like me. That when we all die, that'll still be up there unless it's some type of disaster that happens or something knocks it down. But other than that, my life lives on forever. My legacy lives on forever. So people, it's only so much that people can say when they mention Deontay Wilder. And I'd rather for you to mention he's a great man. And don't forget being handsome. You see? So to answer your question, man, if that time comes and the money is right for that situation, I would love to put him down. Like I told him, he better go get his grave plot paid for by the time I get him. You know what I mean? He better go find it because I ain't playing with these folks, man. You know, all these tactics. I understand that you got to say things and act a certain way to try to get fights and shit, but you got to understand when they become personal, you can get it at any given time. Even when I see you on site, that's how things can get. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, but Ngannou, yeah, I love the fight Ngannou. Trying to, it's a lot of things going on. I think that fight is still stirring up. We're still talking about it. It was just trying to get the structure of how that fight gonna go because um certain things have been laid out, or I even have expressed my opinions about, hey, we do one fight boxing, one fight MMA. I would love to go back and forth, give him the opportunity to, me going his backyard as he come into mine. Fair is fair. And certain things like that, just then, some may want to just do boxing or whatever. So it's a lot of things going on right now. But um, I think that fight will be made. A lot of fights will be made. You know what I mean? We just got to get back at it. It's all going to depend on me. At the end of the day, I have returned with a great mindset, mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm free of fucking injuries. I was dealing with an injury for the past 4 years, and to the point where I was in pain every day. Every time I used this one, no matter what it was, I was in pain. But I couldn't stop. I'm a warrior. I had to still continue to fight and make a living and do the things I want to do. Of course, I could have sat out and shit like that, but I wanted to test myself. I wanted to test how I am. I never even in the beginning of my career ever cared about win, lose, or draw. I always cared about providing my greatness to my service, being the best that I could be. You understand me? And going out and challenging myself in life, seeing what I'm capable of doing, seeing what I could do in certain situations, under certain circumstances and obligations to do them in. You know, life is a beautiful thing once you willing to receive what life has to offer and kicks at you. And what it kicks at you, you got to apply to life to become wise because wise doesn't come as your age rises. Yeah, just like death ain't meant for just for older people. If you do the statistics and the percentage, you'll see younger people die way faster than older. But the only way you become wise is if you apply knowledge to life and learn from that acknowledgement that you apply to life. That's how you become wise through the experience. Age don't bring wisdom because you can still be considered an old fool, and I know a few of them.
So we talked all about Jarrell Miller, we talked all about Francis Ngannou, and now a fight that I wanted to talk about, and it never happened, and it wasn't remotely your fault. It was a massive opportunity to go out to Russia like Rocky Balboa, and it didn't happen. But the Alexander Povetkin fight, how do you think that would have gone? Because that would have been an extremely intriguing one for the fans.
Yeah, most definitely, I would have knocked Alexander Povetkin out. That's for sure. Man, I never felt the way I felt as a fighter than I did when I was getting ready to fight him, knowing that I had to go to Russia into unwanted territory, defending my title. I took that fight so extreme that my focus point was like a super laser focus. I never have that. I never had that focus again out of my career because of what had happened and what even furthermore happened after that. You know what I mean? Which whoever listening to the right person that listened to it will understand what I'm saying, and they will feel guilty or something. But that's not here nor there either. That's like I said. That'll be in my documentary, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Many stories to tell. But what happened to me during that times and stuff, and how the fight didn't happen because of the circumstance how it happened for me to train. You got to understand when the fighters get ready for fights and stuff, they really have to stay disciplined, to like surrender to everything that's on the outside, like and focus on whatever the plans ahead that has to be as far as training. We're literally training months at a time to take another man's head off. You know what I mean? And that could take a lot, and you can't be distracted. That's why a lot of fighters may go away, different, outside of their city, their state, or even country, and to just get isolated from people and all thoughts and worries and concerns and stuff like that so they can stay truly focused. And with that, I was so focused and man, laser super, like I said, extra laser focus, and to do all that training, to mentally get my mind prepared and focused to even go to another country to even start up my camps and stuff like that, and to go through all that process, that mental drain, it really affected me. You know what I mean? A fight that didn't even happen affected me because of the preparation that I put into it, the emotions that I put into it, the effort that I put into it, all that is like no reward after, and it kind of make you kind of like, it's just it'll bring you to that like, damn, it'll drain you, it'll take something out of you, you know what I mean? Because you put so much into it. And be to the fact of what it was about, the situation of why it didn't happen, because of the drugs that being found and shit like that. It was a lot, It really was, and I really wish that didn't occur. I really wish I would have had a chance to go to Russia and fight in front of all those fans like that and whoop Alexander ass.
Now, we've talked about how dangerous you are in real life, but it's not just the reality where you're a pretty dangerous man, because you're just as lethal on the video game, Undisputed. And now I play that I play that occasionally with my brother, and we've decided we can't even use you anymore because whoever plays as Deontay Wilder literally ends the fight in a single punch. It's so frustrating. So if you had an opportunity to play as your own character,
Oh my goodness. I'm only laughing so hard because you don't understand how many people that came up to me and elaborated on how much they play me in that game. Like, it's crazy. Like, my sons, when I first got it, my sons was playing it all the time, and they was playing it with different people, but I've always seen my face on there and stuff like that. with different rivals of guys and stuff like that. And it's so funny because I just got there. I was just at the airport recently, and a guy came up to me like he was telling me, "Man, I play you on the boxing game, man. You the only person I play with, man. You man, I be knocking. I knocked him out on there with you and stuff like that. And I've gotten it so many times." And I'm happy. I'm glad people are enjoying it and want to play with me, and have nothing but great feedback that comes back to me. So it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dante, it doesn't matter whether you're playing as Rocky Marciano, Joe Fraser, whoever. As soon as you land, the fight is over. It's impossible to beat you on
Oh
Undisputed.
man.
But continuing away from specifically boxing, I know that in your free time you like to do a bit of scuba diving. I know you've swam with sharks. So can you tell me what that's like? Have you encountered any sharks down there that are, I don't know, aggressive? How do you deal with sharks?
Yeah, man. My scuba. I had two scuba diving instructors in my life that have been amazing. They're experts that go way down in there. One is a guy that his family used to live on the water, so all they used to do is eat seafood. Go figure. He had to go down there as a little boy under the water to go get the lobsters and bring it back up because they lived on the boat and stuff. And his love for sharks was none other. I've never seen it in my life. And he was married. His wife is an instructor as well. We was out in Barbuda. I was getting trained, and he said that I don't even want to bring a child in this world because the sharks are becoming extinct. That's how much love he had for the sharks, you know what I mean? And, I was like, I kind of was down because I love children. If you got one child, I want you to have two, three, four, five, six more, but I understood his passion, because I'm passionate about a lot of things as well. And I understood his passion that him being on water nearly about all his damn life and loving the creatures, the sea creatures of the sea and stuff like that. So I understood him. And then I also had another instructor that was excellent one out in Bali. And we had a great time in the Indian Ocean and stuff like that. And with the guy that loves the sharks, he know all about them. So he always used to tell me how to position myself in front of a shark, or what shark to go under and what sharks you have to stay on top of, and what to do if a shark do approaches you, And the number one thing in water to always never panic. That's the first thing. But as human beings, we just gonna tend to do that when we ain't familiar or have no knowledgement about a certain is the thing. The first thing we'll do is run. But you become food when you're looking like a coward and you looking like food. So you're a cowardly fool. Fool. You're a coward. What I want to see. You're a coward that looks like food. And to the sharks or whatever. So I learned a lot just being with him, and we're really being with them both on an open body of water, and what to do with certain fishes that's in there. Just like with the guy in Bali, he was big on the stingrays and stuff, and how they can easily hide in the sand of the bottom of the ocean. And he was right, without his, I almost stepped on one going down there. He was so covered up and stuff, and but we knew how to do the sign language and talk underwater and stuff like that. So it kind of helped out to pay attention and understand. So, but the sharks doesn't bother me at all because when I'm already 6'7", so underwater you magnify, you look bigger and stuff like that. So I always tell my diving partners and stuff. I like, man, I only can imagine what the fish think I am. To see this big, long human figure, don't know what it is. One time I had a school of fishes. I could see right through them. It was like their body was like I could see right through them. Like I could see like invisibly through them. And they were it was like maybe like 50th school of fishes just swimming around me. Probably thinking in their head, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? They're like, what is it? They just kept circling around me, circling around my body, circling around. I thought it was the most unique thing ever, but yeah, man, under the sea is beautiful. If you want to know what the most beautiful place in the world is, under the sea, under the sea.
Well, Deontay, that's pretty fascinating stuff. And now I think if I'm ever in the water with a shark, I'll have a better idea of how to survive now than before talking to you. So thank you for that.
Let me get you some tips on that real
You
quick.
go for
Like if
it.
a shark approaches you, you never want to go, you never want to be, you always want to be vertical facing it. You never want to be horizontal and flapping away because they think you like a seal or something like that. You can be looked at as a seal or something, or food going away. So when the sharks come, they most times, sharks are blind. And the only time they can really sense you is through the, your waves or the touch of the, your nose. That nose and the gills is the most sensitive part of the body. So when they do approaches you, you can put your hands out and you can stir them away like this. You can stir them off and stuff. Because sometimes they approach you and they'll try to, see who you are, what you are in a sense. So, just like any little thing, there's nothing dangerous about them like they put in movies and stuff like that. Sharks are absolutely intelligent you know, um, creatures in the sea and stuff. And it just like it's just like in life on the land. We have a lot of beautiful human beings, but a lot of us is misunderstood and don't know how to be approached or don't know how to be handled, and sometimes that causes wars and disputes of between each other, and it causes things to happen. So, we can learn a lot from the animals, that's for sure. Most of them, because they breathe and eat, sleep just like we do. And they got their own little mind and their own little world. And they got to figure out just like we do.
I tell you what, Deontay, I always love doing these interviews and I always thank people, but you're the only person who's ever given me actual survival tips. So I really, I really appreciate that. I
Oh,
wish you
yeah.
all the luck in the world for the fight and your future, whether that be Miller, Ngannou, AJ, whoever it is. But
Yeah,
before I
man.
let you go, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Man, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the love and the support. All my fans that's been from day one and still here now. I just want to thank all the boxing fans as well, participating and being a part of the things and the journey that we have to go through as fighters. I always express that this is a tough business that we in, that we risk our lives for others' entertainment. And I would tell you, as a veteran that moving forward. And I don't know how many more years I may have left. I may have 3, I may have 10. Who knows? You know what I mean? I may feel Bernard Hopkins. Like we want to go all the way to 49 or maybe 50. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I just tell everybody to respect all fighters because we risk our lives for you guys' entertainment and to put on a great fight. And we always know that a life is precious and you only have one in this lifetime, and just salute to all the fighters that steps in the ring, that risk their lives to put food on the table for their family, to survive or get to somewhere, to have some type of advantage in life, well, no matter where you are, how far you is. And I love you all. And here we are. Once again, the king has returned. So I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of the day. Until then, God bless, baby.